Most students enter a communication class feeling pretty nervous, and typically what they're nervous about is actually delivering the speech. I'll hear things like, I don't know what to do with my hands. How do I make eye contact with my classmates? Why does my voice sound funny? And what I tell students is take a deep breath and let's start at the beginning. The beginning of learning how to deliver a speech is choosing the right speaking style. There are 3 options when choosing a speaking style, but I'll give you a hint, they're not all equally effective. The 3 speaking styles are memorized, manuscript, and extemporaneous. So we'll take a couple minutes and we'll talk about each style and their various strengths and weaknesses. The first type is a memorized speech. It's just what it sounds like. It's when you take a speech, you learn it word for word, and you repeat it exactly the same way every single time. Think of a theater class. If you have to memorize a monologue, you wouldn't change your words, you'd keep them the same each time. Let's watch an example of what this might sound like if you were giving a speech using that style of speaking.
We are delighted you're visiting the White House today. Let's keep moving, folks. We're walking, we're walking. More than 1 million visitors go through the White House every year, making it the most frequently toured home in the country. We're walking, and we're stopping. Whatever new changes from one administration to the next, the White House always maintains its character and its dignity. We're walking. He's Bob Alexander, our White House Chief of Staff. I can't believe it. What an honor, really, for all of you. We're walking. 42 presidents and their wives have lived in the White House.
You'll notice that a memorized speech doesn't sound terribly natural. It really sounds more like you're talking at the audience rather than talking to them or having more of a conversation with them. So that's one of the reasons why we're not going to use a memorized speech in this class when we learn the best way to deliver a presentation. So let's go back to our list of options and see what our other choices might be. If a memorized speech isn't our best bet, how about a manuscript speech? A manuscript speech is also just what it sounds like. It's when you write out your speech exactly the way you want to say it, and you read it to us word for word. Let's take a look at an example of what that might sound like for an audience.
There are 3 primary theories concerning sediment flow rate. Each of these theories can be further subcategorized into these...
Why don't you open with a joke?
Poor Ross. His speech probably looked really good on paper, but oftentimes when we read something out loud to the audience, it doesn't sound natural, and it makes it really hard to make eye contact with the audience in any way. So there's really very little connection that can be made between the speaker and the audience. So let's go back to our list one more time to identify the best option for giving a really natural, really strong sounding speech. The delivery style that we're going to use in this class is called an extemporaneous speaking style. This is when you prepare your speech, maybe you even write it out word for word the first time, but the notes that you speak from to the audience are abbreviated. They're keywords, key ideas, and they're really just something that you use to help keep you on track for what you want to say. You've already practiced how you want to say it, and so when you get in front of the audience, you can look right at them and you can tell them exactly what your message is. You can create a connection, you can focus on your body movement, your eye contact. It frees you up to have a much more conversational delivery style than the other 2 options that we talked about. Let's take a look at a fantastic speaker as she delivers a really strong extemporaneous speech.
Oh, boy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, President Cowan, Mrs. President Cowan, distinguished guest, undistinguished guest, you know who you are. Honored faculty and creepy Spanish teacher. And thank you to all the graduating class of 2009. I realize most of you are hungover and have splitting headaches and haven't slept since Fat Tuesday, but you can't graduate till I finish, so listen up.
So as you can see, extemporaneous is the way to go. Put aside your old notions that you should read a speech to the audience or memorize a speech and give it a go. If you start working on your speech delivery by taking the first step and choosing the correct speaking style, I promise you'll be off to a great start. You'll have huge success in your class and maybe even outside of this class in your additional classes at Wake Tech, and you'll see your confidence skyrocket. You'll be able to focus less on being nervous and more on the applause that are sure to come.